All right, welcome in. Another show, live, emergency, whatever the hell you want to call it. Looks like Alabama's closing in on a head coaching hire. According to multiple reports, Chris Lowe, who broke the news, he's saying it's not a done deal. No one's saying done deal at this point in time, but Ross Dellinger is reporting that Washington has already started a search looking for candidates of who Washington's next coach will be. So Washington will start looking for a coach if they currently have one. Kalen DeBoer, anybody that missed it, canceled weekly radio show in Seattle. Kalen knew. A- hire, says Michael Riley. I mean, I tend to agree. I mean, I think this is one hell of a hire. For anybody that is not familiar with this Kalen DeBoer, I was not even quite familiar with him myself till this season, but check out his record overall as a head coach, 104-12. I mean, that's just insane. He's been in the Pac-12 2 seasons. He's two-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Here's more importantly, he's 3-0 against Dan Lanning, who everybody thought should be the Alabama coach. 2-0 against Sarkisian, who everybody would say was an A-plus hire. He's 2-0 against Lincoln Riley. Record against ranked opponents, and this dates back to his time at Fresno State. He was 2 years at Fresno, won 9 games his second year there. He's 12-2 against top 25 competition in his career. I mean, I don't think you could do much better than that. Thank you. Shout out on the shirt comments. Getting ready. I'm going to do Feinbaum here in just under an hour, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. So I had to take a shower and put on a nice shirt for the Feinbaum show. Again, this is not finalized by any means, but this is looking good. And I thought it was perfect timing. Michael Penix is leaving Washington. They got some good receivers. They're all leaving. It would have been a total rebuild. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's stock's never going to be higher. And for a guy that everywhere he's been has won and won big. I mean, Alabama set up, obviously, we know it. He's not Nick Saban. Nobody is. Not even Kirby, who I think Kirby's the best coach in the country right now, but he just doesn't have that longevity that Nick Saban has had. You couldn't do much better than this. Again, he's 2-0 against Sarkisian. Sarkisian's got a hell of a better roster. He's 3-0 against Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning's got a better roster. He's 2-0 against Lincoln Riley, who had the number one quarterback in the upcoming draft, number one player in the draft, better roster. Will Rogers transfer? I don't think he's going to Bama. I don't think so. So that's going to be fascinating. Someone's already said in the comments, I apologize if I missed it. There's a lot on here, but will Ryan Grubb, his offensive coordinator, if you remember, Saban tried to hire Ryan Grubb to be his offensive coordinator, and he turned him down. He wanted to stay with Kalen DeBoer, Michael Penix, make this run that they just went on, try to win a national championship. So will he come, or will he be the next Washington head coach? That remains to be seen. But if Kalen DeBoer can get Ryan Grubb to go with him, that just makes it all the more impressive that he's doing this. Jeremy Pruitt back as defensive coordinator, asked Rusky Shackelford. I'd love to see it, but no, it ain't coming. It ain't coming. DeBoer, am I saying it wrong? DeBoer? I don't know how to say it. We'll figure it out at some point in time. But I just think this is a hell of a hire. Does this mean the dynasty is dead or revived, says Michael Riley? I think the dynasty is dead. Because, again, he ain't Nick Saban. And when I say dynasty, I mean I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or another. I do so many of these shows, I forget, but I apologize. We looked at the last 10 national champions. They were all either Alabama or the team that won it, like Michigan just recently. They beat Alabama. The only exception, 9 of the last 10 national champions, was last season, Georgia. They didn't have to face Alabama, of course, because LSU won the West. But that's dynasty talk right there. Either you're winning the national championship or you're losing to the team that wins it. I mean, will DeBoer do that? No. He's not going to be that good. No one is. Nick Saban's the GOAT. But He'll win a national championship. I'll make that prediction right now. He'll probably win multiple national championships at Alabama, not back to back or anything, but depending on how long he's there. If he's there, I'm thinking 8 to 10 years. I think he'll win probably 2 national championships at Alabama. And I love this comment already. You're going to see the haters say, well, this is just Brian Harsin, which you didn't even spell his name correctly. But although I do appreciate the comment. This is not Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin was at Boise. Boise was a well-oiled machine, big-time winner, and Harsin, he just basically kept the thing afloat. He never took it to its highest. The thing didn't fall apart on him. But Kalen DeBoer is completely different. Fresno State revitalized them. Washington, he was at some NAIA school. I don't know what school it is, but he was major. He was a big-time winner there as well. This is nothing like Harsin. The only thing you could say they're similar, they're from that part of the country. That's it. That is not a good comparison. Yeah, the dynasty went with Saban. It was Nick Saban's Alabama dynasty. Does Milroe stay? That'll be fascinating to see. Will he want his own quarterback? Alabama's pretty loaded at the quarterback room. A lot of unproven guys, but I would think that a lot of the guys already on the roster at Alabama, Ty Simpson, Dylan Logaram, they just signed a 5-star Julian Sayin. All these guys I think will fit what Kalen DeBoer does. And again, I'm trying to get this pronunciation right. I'm never good with pronunciation. They're saying DeBoer, however the hell it is. But I think they'll fit. Do you think he can compete with the SEC coaches? Absolutely. Can he recruit at an SEC level? That's going to be another criticism of Kalen. No, he doesn't. But he was at Washington. I mean, this is completely. They said the same thing about Josh Heupel. And Tennessee's not recruiting to Georgia's level, or Alabama's, again, hardly anyone does. But it's these schools that recruit themselves in a lot of ways. And, breaking news here. Washington has called for a team meeting at 1:30 Pacific. I got to do math here. I'm never good at math. So that would be 3:30 Central Time, 4:30 Eastern. We'll get some kind of confirmation, I would think, at that point in time. Again, this is not official yet, but all signs point to this being the case, that Kalen DeBoer, hope I'm saying that right, is the next Alabama coach. But can he recruit at an SEC level? He's not. No one's going to recruit to Nick Saban's level. Saban was an animal on the recruiting trail. Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, I think, are the 2 greatest recruiters in college football history. Kirby's proven that now at Georgia. Saban just proved it at Alabama. He's not going to be recruit to that level, no. But Alabama will annually have a top 5 class under this guy, I would think. Because it's Alabama. Because right now, their championship, their roster is championship worthy now. They have now a championship coach, which they already had, and they were in the playoff. They're going to be in the 12-team model every year. They're going to recruit just fine. Now, are they going to have 10 number 1 classes, whatever the hell Nick Saban had? No. But if they have 10 top 5 classes, they're going to be just as good as anybody. So I don't get people calling out his lack of recruiting, because he's at Washington. There's no talent in Washington. And it's not like he can recruit Florida and Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana at Washington. The players are not going up there to go play. There's just not that talent there. Carl says, let DeBoer turn him down. Right, Jeff, great point by Jeff. Napier could recruit a top 5 class at Alabama. Although Napier, he's a really good recruiter. Not a great coach, clearly, in my mind, but a good recruiter. But that's the point. You're at Alabama. They're going to do just fine. And just because they had a bunch of idiot coaches before Nick Saban doesn't mean the whole thing's going to fall apart here overnight. It's not going to happen that quickly. But again, they're not going to be the epic dynasty of all dynasties like they have been. Okay, breaking news here. Pete Thamel. Sources. Kalen DeBoer has informed Washington he's taking the job at Alabama. He's expected to tell the team soon. So clearly that's what that team meeting is all about. big news here. So looks like it is DeBoer. Again, not finalized till Alabama announces it or DeBoer. But I think this is a great day for Alabama. You were probably a no away from maybe getting Tommy Rees. I would think this ends the Tommy Rees era in Tuscaloosa. Good day for Alabama. Bad day for the rest of the SEC. But, again, he's not going to dominate the league or anything like that. But and I think this is good. We made this point. Again, I can't remember what show, what time, if it was Cousin Shane, Braden Gall, what have you. But I think this is good. Losing Saban hurts because it's another legend gone from the SEC. He was one of a kind. He's the greatest of all time. The sport is better for Nick Saban and what he's done for the SEC and obviously more specifically Alabama. But I think it's good for the rest of the SEC, and that kind of goes without saying. I think, this opens the door for Texas and A&M and Tennessee and LSU and Georgia and Florida and on and on and on, Auburn, to win more SEC titles and be in the conversation to win more national titles. I think it'll be more cyclical. So it's about your head coach, your coordinators, your quarterback, your line of scrimmage. If things line up, teams like Ole Miss and Missouri now have an opportunity to do that. So I think that's the way the SEC is going to be, even with this Kalen DeBoer, who's got an incredible record. His record is going to take a hit in the SEC. Let's just call it what it is. But he could still be elite, still win a national title or two at Alabama with all the resources, with the talent he's inheriting, and all the future recruits that he's surely going to get playing in his offense. And we have not seen a mass exodus. We have seen, who was it? Receiver Isaiah Bond. He's jumped into the portal. He's the only one that I've seen, and I don't even think he's officially in the portal, but it sounds like he's headed to Texas. So credit Sark. He probably just wanted to play for Sarkisian there. But I don't think we're going to see a mass exodus because DeBoer's our coach now. He's a quality coach. Just look at what he did with all those receivers and Michael Penix at Washington. Now, I think let's go negative here. Because that's what this seems like all these comments are. He's not going to win shit. Clown take. Blah, blah, blah. They all hate him. This guy can't coach. He's a joke. Just took Washington to the national championship. Any coach could have done that. He's 104-14. That's a joke of a record. Let's say he is a joke. And maybe his resume was built because of Michael Penix, who last time I checked was at Indiana, I think, for 3 or 4 seasons. They didn't win shit. But maybe it is just Michael Penix and these receivers. Maybe that's their flip side. And maybe this guy was like a 10-year wonder. Maybe that's... I can't even say that with a straight face. This is, we're the DeBoer dynasty loading. I don't know about dynasty, but he's going to be very successful. I think this is a great hire. Getting him away from Washington. Heupel is Bobby Hill grown up. I love Bobby Hill, so that's a compliment in my mind. King of the Hill, fantastic show. Will DeBoer go after DJ Durkin? I'd hope not. I think that was Saban's last interview as Alabama's head coach. He met with DJ Durkin, and then later that day said, "You know what? I'm retiring. I don't want to work with this fool." Bama, an air raid team now. I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. Again, you use air raid and things of that nature when you don't have the talent of your opponents. He's going to have all the talent in the world. Nobody, Georgia included, has a significantly better roster than Alabama. So he doesn't have to do the air raid. You do that so that you can go undefeated against Sarkisian, Dan Lanning, and Lincoln Riley, who's got better talent than you. What kind of defense will be fascinating? Will they keep with the Saban-type defense without Saban? That may be a mistake. A lot of people in the comments saying 3-3-5 defense. Zach Arnett is out there. Obviously knows a thing or two about the 3-3-5. Not a great head coach, clearly, but for those that really followed it closely, he did a hell of a job as Mississippi State's defensive coordinator. And we love the Pirate. We never say anything bad about the Pirate, but the last couple of seasons under Mike Leach, it was the defense that was carrying them. Brett says, you going to court today? No, I just came up back from court. I'm going on Paul Feinbaum here in 30 minutes, so got to dress up a little. May even wear a jacket. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Pay respect to the GOAT. Got this breaking news. They may kick me from Feinbaum. Uh-oh. Yep. I think they just did. Yeah, fuck. I got kicked off Feinbaum. But no big deal. They're saying Monday. Breaking news here. All right, had to get back to him. So I guess I can take his shirt off and get one of my scrub shirts back on. But why'd they kick you off? They kicked me off because of this DeBoer news. They're going to be wall-to-wall coverage that. They're going to get, I will not get the shirt dirty. As soon as I get done with this, I'm taking it off. I'm putting it in the closet there so it does not get dirty. I appreciate the kind words. I got booted from Feinbaum. That was bound to happen, right? They got better things to do, bigger people to talk to. So no, they said I'll be back on Monday. So keep us posted for that. But man, this is wild. Chris Lowe reporting now. DeBoer agreed to the deal to be the next Alabama head coach. He's won 11 or more games, 7 of 9 seasons as a head coach. I'm telling you, I think this is as good as they could possibly have done. Kalen DeBoer to Alabama. Now we'll see. T-Rob, maybe people are saying in the comments, get him as a defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator really anyway. That was what Lane Kiffin insinuated, and I'm told that was all about Kevin Steele. He was going to quit in the middle of the season right there leading up to that Ole Miss game. And that's why Kiffin put that out there. So, of course, Alabama got the last laugh and all that, of course. But, yeah, breaking news here. This is wild. DeBoer, things are happening so quickly. It's wild. But I do appreciate, I don't know if I got much more to say on this. This is going to be official here anytime now. I mean, Chris Lowe's as official as it gets, plugged in. He's the one, of course, that broke the news. Nick Saban was retiring. He is reporting Kalen DeBoer has agreed to become the next Alabama coach. So, really good hire. Cousin Shane, appreciate you chiming in. Thank God it wasn't Dabo. I think we could all agree with that. That would have been a god-awful hire for Alabama. Ooh. How many beers Larry drinking today? Asked Shane Alexander. I mean, it's a Friday, right? So unlimited is probably the number, but he's just probably celebrating they got themselves a head coach. I think it's a good day for Alabama. And Jimmy Sexton's his agent, so it's always a good day for Jimmy Sexton. He's getting pay bumps for Sarkisian, Lanning, Norvell. This is going to be wild. Tommy Rees to LSU as offensive coordinator. I think it'll be Joe Sloan at LSU, but could be Tommy Rees. That makes sense. The Brian Kelly connection there. But can't wait. Let's throw up Alabama's schedule real quick because this is what DeBoer's getting himself into here. Western Kentucky, South Florida, both at home, at Wisconsin, Georgia at home. That's going to be one hell of a game. We're going to find out how good of a coach he really is come September 28th. At Vanderbilt, but really a home game there. South Carolina at home. At Tennessee. It's his first loss of his Alabama tenure probably. Missouri at home. At LSU. Mercer at home. At Oklahoma. And then Auburn at home. Good luck, Kalen. This ain't the Pac-2. But I think that's all I got on this episode. Just want a quick one here. Looks like this is it is official now. Kalen DeBoer, next Alabama coach. Hell of a hire. Again, I'll recap those numbers one last time. Just an incredible record he's got. 104-12 overall as a head coach. He was 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. He only coached in the Pac-12 2 seasons, so won it both times. 3-0 against Dan Lanning. I think that's critical. 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian, 2-0 against Lincoln Riley, and 12-2 against ranked competition. And at probably every single one of those matchups, his team had less talent than the team they were facing. This was one hell of a coach. I think this is a great hire for Alabama. Great day to be a Crimson Tide fan. You lost the GOAT, but you're getting one of the best coaches in college football, and I think he's proven that in his 2 seasons at Washington. So that's going to do it. Quick little episode here. Appreciate each and every one of you. And tune in Monday. Called an audible here. I'll be on Feinbaum on Monday. We'll be back Sunday. We got a great show. Actually, I'll take that time real quick. Hit us up on Twitter, on YouTube. We're going to do our worst takes from last season. There's no shortage of bad takes that Cousin Shane and I have had. We're going to try to do 5 for each of us. Our worst takes. There should be no shortage. We're trying to rack our brains for our worst predictions. There's so many out there. It will not be hard for you guys to come up with. We're going to pull the tape. We're going to play those on Sunday. Cousin Shane's worst takes, my worst takes. Reach out to us if you got any personal favorites of all the bad takes we've had this football season. We're going to highlight them on the next episode. So appreciate each and everyone. Appreciate you, Blake, $2, Cousin Shane to Bama. Spoiler alert. That ain't happening. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. Go celebrate Kalen DeBoer. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. A lot of crazy weather and whatnot. So I appreciate you. We'll see you. If there's another emergency, we'll break down. We'll go live. But if not, we'll see you Sunday back with Cousin Shane.